My name's Sam Cleasby. I've had a stoma for about 9 years now. I'm a blogger and a mother of 3. I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis in 2004 after a couple of years of having a lot of symptoms and not really being sure what was going on. When I was finally diagnosed, never heard of it before. I think I was just almost a bit relieved that it wasn't bowel cancer, which was the first thing that you think if you find blood in the toilet. I learnt to live with ulcerative colitis. It was quite difficult. I had a lot of different medications, and then in 2013 I ended up having surgery to remove my entire large intestine, and that's when I first got my stoma. When I first got my stoma, it was a bit of a shock, but it was almost a bit of a relief. I'd been so incredibly ill with the ulcerative colitis that this stoma felt like a new lease of life for me. So I know a lot of people find it a very scary experience, and definitely there was some fear there, but it almost felt like a new start for me. So it was a challenge to learn to live with. It was a challenge to get over that first feeling of it being very medical, like my body was medicalised, to then come to terms with that this is just a part of me now. This is what my body looks like. I think the practical challenges of coming to terms with living with a stoma is that it's like learning a new skill of how you care for yourself. It's so brand new, and most people won't have ever seen a stoma before or know anything about how to care for it. So that sort of first learning how to care for your new body was quite a challenge. And then learning how to fit the stoma into your normal life. You know, is this going to stop me walking my dog? Is it going to stop me going swimming? Is it going to stop me, being able to wear a bikini on holiday? All those sort of fears come into your mind, and you just have to learn as you go along. I really enjoy spending time with my family. I've got 3 almost adult children, and my dog and my husband. We do a lot of things together. I love to go camping. I love going swimming. And then I'm also a student. So I went back to university at 40, which was terrifying. So yeah, I study fine art. So I spend a lot of time just making pretty things. I had a big fear when I had my stoma. So I had my surgery in September 2013, and we'd booked a holiday to go and see my sister who lives in Sydney in December 2013. So firstly, I was scared that I wouldn't even be able to get there. But I knew what I wanted to do in Sydney, in Australia, is what everyone wants to do, which is hang out on the beach and go swimming. And I was terrified, thinking, well, can you even go swimming with an ostomy bag stuck to you? And I had a little look online, and everyone's like, yeah, sure. But then you don't believe that. So I went and got in the bath and sort of like laid in the bath with my tummy under the water for too long, thinking, well, if it stays on in a bath, and I swished about in the bath, if it stays on in the bath, then it should stay on when I go swimming. So I sort of did my own tests to see if that would work. It's scary because you just think, what if my bag falls off in a swimming pool or at the beach and people see? I can tell you that I've swum in the sea, in lakes, in rivers, I've been in a hot tub. My bag has never ever fallen off. It's never even started to fall off. You can swim with a stoma, definitely. Swimming is obviously, everyone says it's a great form of exercise. For me, because I have a lot of sort of quite physical problems, so I have peristomal hernias, I have nerve damage, so I have some sort of physical limitations. For me, being in the water is freedom. it takes away the pain, it takes away the weight, and just being able to float in the water. You know, I'm never going to be an Olympic swimmer. Can't do the butterfly, can't do any of that. I can do a basic breaststroke, that's it. But for me, it's literally the mental health and the well-being of being in the water. It just, it takes away all those concerns and all those worries, and it makes me feel like me again. If you are planning to go swimming after your surgery, obviously you need to check with your doctor that you are ready to go and do physical activity. After that, I think if you're feeling nervous, go swimming with somebody who knows you, who knows what's gone on with you. Take your time. Don't think you're going to jump in and do 300 lengths, whatever you could do before. Your body's been through a lot. It's a big surgery. So take your time. Like I said, I tested my products before. Go in the shower just to give yourself that bit of extra confidence, or go in the bath. Know that it's not going to come off. Just take your time and enjoy it. You don't need to go in and do loads of lengths. Go in and have a float about and just enjoy being in the water. When I first got my stoma, I sort of dealt with this new body by going, I'm going to just show it off. Like, why not? And so I did a photo shoot with my husband, where he is a photographer, where I just thought, I'm going to just show what this looks like. And I didn't really struggle too much with any body confidence issues. As the years have gone on and I've had to have multiple surgeries, actually my stoma bags, I don't even think about it anymore. It's just part of me. I have a lot of scars. I have a peristomal hernia. And weirdly, this year is the first year after 9 years of having my stoma where suddenly I've sort of started to feel a little bit like that loss of confidence again. I think it's when your body changes and you've got so little control over it, it does make you feel differently about it. And you have to learn how to accept and love yourself again. It's not an easy thing to do. I know at the minute that you see all these things, you should be body confident. And actually, when you don't feel body confident, you're like, am I letting the feminist army down? Like, I should be loving myself. And why am I not? So you almost feel a bit guilty that you don't love every part of you. And I think it's okay that you don't. And it's coming to terms with that. I'm never going to look like women in a magazine. I know that, and I'm fine with that. I accept my weight, I accept my colour, I accept all these different parts of myself. And I think it's a journey to learn how to accept and like what your body looks like. I think it's about learning that it's about what you think, not what anyone else in the world thinks. And it takes time, but you get there. When you first get your stoma, when I first got my stoma, you're given a bag in hospital, and I had no idea that there were different types of bags. I didn't know there were different brands. I didn't know there were different shaped flanges or different colours. I had no idea. So I went home with this bag thinking, well, this is it, And it took a while. It took sort of looking on the internet and other people going, oh no, I use this bag. And you think, where are all these bags? And so I spoke to my stoma nurse and said, actually, this isn't really working for me. And I've seen there's others. What else can I try? And she was really great. And she brought me a whole range of different bags to try. I found one that worked for me. That was great. But actually, as your body changes, if you gain weight, if you lose weight, if you develop a peristomal hernia, if your stoma changes size, you might need to try different products. And there are tons of different products out there. Don't stick with one bag that isn't working for you. Have a look, because there is an answer. I always feel really sad when I see people saying online that they're really struggling, and I think, well, why is nobody helping you fix this problem? There are tons of different bags, tons of different products, and you need to just find what works for you. The thing that you need with your pouch when you're going to go swimming is to have some confidence in it. Something that's going to stay put, that moves with your body. The Aurum Plus, because it's got the sort of plus shaped flange, is really good at sort of staying put as your body moves about. You know, it's got to be, it's confidence more than anything. I don't think I've found any pouch that will just drop off in the water. You know, it's about that being water repellent and giving you that confidence. I love that I can use the black bag that matches with my bikini. That feels like it's just like part of my ensemble. So that really, really works for me. The thing that I'm looking for in a pouch for everyday living is is it comfortable? You know, it shouldn't be uncomfortable. It should feel like part of you, you know, making sure that the hole in your bag is cut to the right size. So many people don't know that you can change the shape of that. So making sure that it's comfortable, you know, your skin can get quite sore underneath. Even if you're doing everything right, you can get into this sort of vicious circle where your skin gets sore, so bags don't stick. So having a bag that works for you, the Manuka honey in the flange in the Aurum Plus, it's like magic. Like, I'm not entirely sure how it works, but it's really helped my skin. Even when there's just like a slight sort of soreness underneath, that can become a real issue because wet, sore skin doesn't let a bag stick to it, and bags that don't stick leak, and then you get stuck in this circle of not being able to sort your skin out. So that's really important. I first found out about Aurum Plus by seeing someone on Instagram with a black ostomy bag, and I was like, how have you made that happen? Because you can buy like covers for bags now. So I was thinking, have they just got like a cover and it was matching all her outfit? And I was like, how is this happening? So I messaged her. I was like, what's that now? And she was like, oh yeah, here's the link, check it out, have a look. And it was the first time that I'd seen different coloured bags. It's weird because other bags, they are skin coloured, and I don't know whose skin it is, but it's definitely not mine. I'm half Indian, and nothing ever matched my skin tone, so I always found that quite difficult. It's like, do you know, when you get plasters that are now they match your skin, it's a big thing. It feels good, but then to see like a black bag that would go with my outfits and looked a bit sexy, I loved it. It was just something really new. The sort of like cross-shaped flange on the Aurum Plus is great because it sort of moves with your body. So when you're in the water, like I say, I'm not someone who's doing like the butterfly stroke or anything. I just like to float about, but especially when you're wild swimming, you want to be able to move with confidence. So having that I know I have the confidence that it's going to move with my body is really important. The things I like about the Aurum Plus are the colour. I like that it makes me feel like I've put something on, like it's not a medical device. It doesn't look medicalised. I really love the colour of it. The plus shaped flange is great, and the Manuka honey in it. I'm not sure what, like I say, it feels quite different to other flanges that I've tried. Some of the flanges are quite hard and plasticky, and this feels like it really molds to your skin, and definitely has helped with when I've had soreness underneath. One of the biggest problems that anybody with a stoma has is things leaking. it happens sometimes without any warning, and that can really knock your confidence in being able to know that you can go out for the day. The Aurum Plus fits really well to your skin. It really helps with the leaks. Sometimes when the flange is more plasticky, I find they lift easier. But with the Aurum Plus, I find that even if something happens, so sometimes, your output will suddenly become really, really fluid. And I feel like even when that starts to leak, it doesn't sort of go all the way out. So it really has helped with my confidence. I think when you have a stoma and you have to wear a bag all the time, there's no time where I don't wear a bag. It needs to feel like it's part of you. And sometimes that can feel difficult when something feels very medical. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm wearing a plaster all the time. I want to feel like I'm wearing something that is part of me. The Aurum Plus does that. It fits to your skin like a second skin. And having that choice of colour, it stops it feeling like you've got a medical device on you and feels like it's something that you've chosen. That really helps with the confidence, and other people notice it. Like I said, I first saw the Aurum Plus by seeing somebody's Instagram picture, and it makes me want to show my pictures because I want other people to be able to see, do you know what, there are other options out there. So I think it's sort of given me more confidence to go, I'm going to flash this, look at how it matches my underwear. So I think it just feels like it's less of a medical device and more of a personal choice. What I'd like anybody who has to wear a stoma bag to know is that you have options, that you don't need to just stick with the first bag that is given to you in hospital. Get out there, have a look, try the Aurum Plus, try other products. What works for one person doesn't necessarily work for everyone else. And also, sometimes you try a product and it's not quite right for you, but then as your body changes, you try it again. So I just think, just know that there is more out there, that you have options, that you can take control of this, and that it's always worth to try something else. If you're having some issues with your bag, try something else. I think the Aurum Plus is especially good for people who are a bit more active. Now, I mean, I'm not a gym bunny, but, I like to get out. We camp, I swim, those sort of things where your body's moving about a little bit more. The Aurum Plus really helps because it feels like it moves with your body rather than just being stuck on it. So if you're somebody who is more active, whether that is running or swimming, I would definitely give it a go.